What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jordan Carmichael from Black Nerd Planet, aka Four Eyes Malone. Well, Black Nerd Planet is not Four Eyes Malone, that's me. But I'm speaking to my boy JayEsper, Esper TV, whatever. You got like 4 different names: Ace, Deuce, Boost, Ace, Boom, Coon. Out here on YouTube, Twitch. Where can they find you, man? Because I always get them backwards how you got it on here, bro.
Oh, just check me out, twitch.tv/JayEsperTV, Twitter at HJ47. Man, be ready for some reckless content because I'll be talking reckless on Twitch and Twitter.
Come back, man. We did the preview for the Final Fantasy VII Remake that came out April 10th, man. This is the review. I know it's a little late. We almost a month out, but shit happens. But we here talking about it. And I want to start off first, man. What did you think about the game? I know you Twitch streamed it. You was playing it a good amount. Yeah. You was hype about it. What did you think, bruh?
The game, 9 out of 10. Really close to giving it a 10 out of 10.
Real close. And, what was the real close?
The real close is really just... and that's the thing. I can't really say why it's not a 10. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to wait to give it the 10 until I do my second playthrough on hard mode.
Yeah, that might make a difference.
Yeah, that will really let me know. Because if I beat it the second time and I want to jump into it again, like for example, like with Kingdom Hearts, like 3, Kingdom Hearts 2, I played those games multiple times back to back to back, and after I beat them, like I'm damn near ready to jump in and start playing again. So that's why to me those games are like 10s, the best of the best. Yeah. So I gotta see what's good with that game. I do have issues with the game, but the lows and my issues I have with the game don't overshadow like the highs of the game. So I'm just not out here being a fanboy, and you know what I mean, being like Square Enix, please sponsor me. No, it's like
me with my PlayStation shirt.
I just genuinely think the game is like damn near perfect, and just the lows just don't warrant a lower score.
Yeah, I'm with you on that 9 out of 10, bro, because like you said, the lows in the game, really not even in spoiler territory, but like quests, like side quests might be a low. I've seen, especially on like, you know, internet places talk about kind of what the negatives may be. I'll say anybody that's played the side quests, I'd be curious to hear about what people thought about that in the comments or something, because some of them was like, okay, this is cool. But then it got kind of into the fetch quest, JRPG, you know, typical area. I think the camera might have been a big issue. At least, I shouldn't say a big issue, but using Barrett, especially the camera, for me was kind of a nuisance.
It was a lot for me, too.
Yeah. And besides that, man, it's really tough to say because, you know, just kind of generally, like, the gameplay is just really smooth. You could really see where the money went on that with that and the graphics, especially for the main characters. And, you know, the side, like, NPC people, the graphics for them was kind of like, oh, it's cool enough. Like, that might be, like, the third negative. And a lot of people complain about the, environmental textures. Those was, like, whatever, too. They could have been better, but at the same time, it was like, I'm not really worried about them at all. Like,
we've seen way worse too. I've seen way worse. That was actually pretty good compared to what I've seen before in JRPGs.
But besides that, man, like when it comes to this gameplay, depending on, everybody's a critic with a story. I don't know if I'm good at saying a story was good or bad. In my opinion, like I'm just kind of like, it was cool. I didn't feel like I was lost at any point necessarily, but I never was like, oh, this is the best thing ever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like that. What did you think about how they did the story? If you know, we really can get into spoilers now if you want, but
the game's been out for a minute now. The thing with the story, I loved it because it fleshed out a lot of moments from the original game. And giving you more time with Aerith when you're with her, you know what I mean? Going to her house, getting the flowers, stuff like that. Story was cool. Introducing Sephiroth again was, I think, a very wise move to introduce him this early, like in physical format. because you're coming out with a remake for such a beloved game, and Sephiroth being such a huge villain in Final Fantasy and video game history in general, was like you had to include him. Like it was just been the best move. They kept things faithful again while adding things, so I thought it was great. I thought it was really, really, really good. Really great story for the game. And then I know later on we'll get into the ending, and I can say my thoughts on that. But the story as a whole, I thought was good. I liked it.
Did you feel like, as a whole, being a big Kingdom Hearts fan and Tetsuya Nomura being the
Yeah.
director on this one, did you feel like a lot of Kingdom Hearts influence, especially even in the battle system with the way you select your moves and stuff like that, was kind of refreshed or even refreshed, rebooted, remade into this game? Did you feel like the gameplay in this was an evolution of Kingdom Hearts, or did you feel like maybe you would rather that gameplay in Kingdom Hearts, or vice versa, or you could see him kind of evolving as with his style of game?
I definitely think he's evolving with his style of games. Just you can see the progression really throughout the Kingdom Hearts series, him being experimental with different gameplay styles. And even in this game is like a completely different than Kingdom Hearts, but it definitely has Kingdom Hearts influence as far as how you like choose your moves and everything like that. The game also, I really see it in the story too. Really, in the ending is where I get the Kingdom Hearts feel. That just Nomura were just classic.
Shit's just clack going nuts.
Yeah, just shit hits the fan. We don't know what's going on in the ending. There's some surprise like hook at the end. That's where I get the that Kingdom Hearts Nomura / feel from. But you could definitely tell. I definitely feel like he is evolving as a director.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's for now. The next game could come out, and I could say,
total opposite.
Like he just
he's a
de-elevate like he's trash. Yeah. But I thought he did a good job, and he did a good job incorporating the old FF7 if you want that type of feel to it, while incorporating like action RPG for people like me who like the action JRPG battle systems.
Kind of definitely modernizing it in a way that was tasteful. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people want to make something hip and cool, and they end up just trying just throwing all the darts at the board for no reason.
That's true.
But it seemed like it was a good selection of pace and just speed. In saying that, with the gameplay, I think that I don't know if in an RPG sense, if I've played a game this action RPG, I should say, this smooth of gameplay in terms of like going to the moves, clicking X, going up down on the D-pad, being able to think about what I need to do next, and it doesn't really interfere with like, oh man, this is taking too long, or oh man, this is way too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like I was able to do enough, and I don't know if you felt this way, but anytime that I did kind of mess up or I did lose or something, it was my fault. Like I never really felt like the game was like just throwing some shit out there to be a dick.
Yeah, I agree.
And even with them incorporating, and they had to incorporate the materia system, going in with the AP abilities, I felt like that was fluid enough where anybody could kind of pick it up. Like I didn't feel like, man, I don't understand this, because some RPGs can be too simple, and some of them can just be like, all right, why do I have 30 menus for a character? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
This one seemed like it was enough detail, it was enough options, but at the same time, it was like, if you want to play like this, you can play like this. If you want to play like this, you can play like this. And it was strict of wanting you to get into the flow of the battle and what they want you to do, but it wasn't a restrictive game. Do you kind of see that?
Yeah. I agree with you 100% in that everything felt really fluid with the combat. The few games I think that have really solid combat to me are, I'm gonna say, Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 has the most just
fanboy.
Yeah, huge. I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm almost like a Square Enix fanboy here. But 2 just has like really just like tight combat. Like when you tie your shoe and it's nice and tight for you ready to go for a walk or a run. That's how Kingdom Hearts 2 feels, and this game feels really cool, good too. And it felt really cool how when I would hit a button, like when I hit attack, Cloud attacks. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? When I go to do my materia move, Cloud does the materia move. So the combat this is probably some of my favorite combat in a video game in a while. And I will say, because Final Fantasy 15, I'm one of the few people that love that game,
I'm
love
in
it
the
to death.
boat with you.
Yeah.
We
They
rolling.
my friend was asking me, what do you like better, the combat in 15 or the combat in 7? I didn't finish 7 yet, so first I was like, I don't know. I didn't get to play through 7. But after beating 7, I'm gonna say 7 is the superior combat system to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and even and I should have mentioned it too, where Nomura, because he worked on 15, right? If I'm not tripping,
He worked on 15 when it was versus 13, then he stepped off from
yeah.
that, and then Tabata came and finished out the project. So yeah.
So and I feel like 15, you can definitely see where 15 and like Kingdom Hearts 3 are kind of the same in
Yeah.
battle, but I
Yeah.
feel like he went into like a happy medium on Final Fantasy
Yep.
7 for sure, like
Yep.
where it was still enough flash and glitter, but I wasn't like Kingdom Hearts 3 was just like you said, just shit everywhere. You
It's a
know what I'm
lot.
saying? I feel like Final Fantasy 7 was like, okay, like I can see where the flash is and the, adrenaline pumping, but I
Yeah.
didn't feel
Yeah.
like it was just too much of that overcompensated, because the gameplay and what you did definitely shined throughout. And I felt like when I won, it's because I did what I was supposed to do. Like, then I felt
Yeah.
like with clicking
Exactly.
X, like, you can go in there and like hit whatever button is X or square. I can't remember now, but
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was just mashing. You know what I'm saying? Like at the
Yep.
beginning, you kind of can feel that way because your abilities aren't up to that level yet. But going through the game, you're like, okay, like let me go ahead and hit this move. Let me hit, like, you can start getting in combos and stuff.
Exactly.
With character wise, you play with Cloud, you get Tifa, Barrett, and then Aerith.
Mhm.
What did you, or who did you like playing with the most on there? Because I feel like they gave every character an opportunity to shine, like either solo wise or
Yeah.
showing the unity that you can have, story wise going into gameplay. My favorite character to play with was Tifa, because she just giving boys the hands. So,
Yeah.
are you on the same wave as me
I'm
on that
on the
one?
same wave as Tifa. I play as Cloud most of the game because Cloud's the boy. You know what I mean? Cloud is that dude. But Tifa, when I was playing as Tifa, it felt just so good. Like I feel like the combat really shines when you play as Tifa.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you just boxing people. You can do like these crazy combos. I've been looking up like some more high level strats, getting ready to do
Oh,
hard
wow.
mode for the game. And there's like combos you can do with Tifa and stuff. Like you can knock enemies down, like up, and then knock them back down. Like Tifa for sure was my favorite character to play as for sure.
Excuse me. With and I would say, yeah, Tifa definitely was my favorite. And Barrett, he was probably, I mean, it wasn't like Barrett was bad to play with, but he just wasn't as fun to me.
Yeah,
Like, because I mean, even with him being, I'm a type of person, like any kind of RPG, I typically play with like a melee person. So
same.
playing with Tifa and Cloud was like up my alley, because you could still do magic moves and stuff like that. But saying that, Aerith, I thought the way that they had her implemented, using her staff, wine, whatever you want to call it, shooting magic repeatedly. Like
Mm-hmm.
I found that a lot more fun than using Bear, just shooting bullets that I don't understand where they come
Same.
from. Like, how does that
Same.
work, man? Like, you have a gun on your arm, but you never reload it. Like, how does that? What is
Yeah. I don't know.
that?
This shit, if he's like pumping out his like veins or something, like what?
Yeah,
I don't
like
know what I don't know
blood
what's popping off.
bullets.
I agree with the air thing though. I definitely had every character was fun to play as, but Barrett was definitely the least fun to play as for me. Aerith, it'd probably go Tifa, Cloud, Aerith, and then Barrett. Because Aerith was still like you can still do some cool shit with
Mm-hmm.
Aerith, especially you do like her refocus, and she has one ability where if you cast it, and you do like an attack spell, you'll do like another cast just like like MP free, don't cost no MP.
Yeah.
There's a lot of layers to Aerith to get into Ag as well.
Did you talking about going back to the abilities and materia, did you see yourself kind of switching in and out of materia and abilities a lot, or were you kind of sticking to your like bread and butter going through the game?
I switched out here and there, and I wish I didn't. I wish I did switch out materia more, mix and match it throughout the game. I was
Yeah.
just set materia and was like, all right, this is cool. And then get a better materia. Okay, let me put this on. Cool. Like I wish I really like sat and like thought about okay, this
Strategized.
materia. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Again, like I was saying, just to really get into just like the combat system, like to really like learn more of that combat. I feel like you
Mm-hmm.
need to mix and match materia with different characters and everything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I found myself getting some, especially later in game, where they're a little more. I don't know what word to necessarily use. Like, I'll just say strategic, where it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
this. If you use this materia, it's gonna enhance this. But I've kind of was like, I don't really understand like why that helps me though. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even
Right,
like mess
right.
with it. And there's a few that I didn't use at all. My favorite materia was is the magnify for like fire and like lightning spells and stuff. I don't know if you ever
Yeah,
used that one where you could hit like multiple people at one time. Like that shit
I
just look
did.
cool on screen. But
Magnify was one of my favorites, and I just found out recently. Again, me not going into the combat, I found out you can pair Magnify with Cure, and it'll cure everybody.
see,
So you don't have to cure
I
one
don't
by
know
one. I
why I
didn't
didn't
know that.
think about that because
Exactly.
I don't I think you only, at least in my playthrough, you only get one magnify materia. So that might be why I never tried that.
Right.
And I always had magnify on cloud too, and it'd be like on fire or lightning. So I didn't even think to put it on Tifa or Aerith, who were my healers, like
Exactly.
majority of the time. Yeah, that definitely would have helped though.
Hey,
If
well, yeah, that would have helped me a lot. A lot.
the my bad.
I was go ahead.
Um, with the game being, I mean, it was a remake. You're going in Midgard, the whole rip. Midgard, the first time in Final Fantasy VII, from everybody's like estimate, is like a 5 hour experience or whatever. In the
Yeah.
first disc of Final Fantasy VII, this one is like 35, 40 hour game. Do you
Yes.
feel like the pacing of the game as a whole, or the way that they structured it, was really justified in the hours, or do you feel like them using Midgard this whole time was like worth it? You know what I mean?
Using Midgard this whole time, I will say, is worth it. I think they did a good job of bringing Midgard to life. For
Mm-hmm.
example, like when in the story when the plate drops, like I feel like you feel it more in this
Yeah.
game because you were, doing all these things for these other people and meeting all these new people in Midgard and stuff like that. As far as justifying the hours, I would say for the most part it is, but there is some very, very clear padding in this
Yeah.
game. Very, very clear padding to kind of get that play time up. Um, and yeah, but I think that to me there's padding in the original FF7 as well.
You think so?
There's padding
Yeah.
in there, yeah, but it's more clear, I would say, in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely more clear with because I haven't played Midgard 7 for forever now, so I really can't
Hmm.
remember all that stuff. But going through it, I was kind of like, okay, I see how they translated this area and expanded it, and
Yeah,
more story elements. Um, I definitely felt like you said the padding in the game was noticeable, mainly in the side quest and just kind of like, let's go through this little sliver of a hallway and kind of talk. You
right,
know what I mean? Like a little
right.
video game, tropey stuff that kind of happens. Um, did you think that the expansion of character, like side characters like Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, and even like the townsfolk and stuff, did you enjoy that? 'Cause I really kind of liked how they
Way
did that.
loved it, loved it. I loved how they did Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge. Way, way better. Gave them way more screen time. Jesse, stole the show,
Mm-hmm.
as he should. I liked when you did Wall Market. That's where you have to go do like the dress, the whole stuff with getting Aerith the dress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that section of side quests is probably the one I actually enjoyed doing. I did all those because that brought like Wall Market to life and the characters in Wall Market that you saw, the little mini games and everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think they did a lot of characters that had a smaller role justice in this one, and bringing them to life and making them have a somewhat bigger role than they did in the last game. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Jesse was like, I was like, damn, man. I'm like, I was Team Tifa, but Jesse was kind of
I'm
pulling the
saying,
strings, bruh.
you know what I'm saying, she was trying to snatch you up. She was
Man,
trying to get you.
the you're talking about mini games. My favorite, I'll say my favorite because it was just unexpected and it was kind of actually fun. Was the dance routine you do,
I loved
like
it.
the clicking whatever button to make you hit the beat. I was like, man, I can't believe that they were just like, you know what, F it, let's
Yeah,
do it.
exactly.
Like who was the guy in the meeting? I was like, this is gonna be great, man. Just why?
Exactly.
Wondering why we had all the delays and stuff. That's why you get the.
Yeah, that's where the budget went.
um, I was thinking when I was playing it though that like we were talking about padding and the way you kind
Mhm.
of going through the structure of like hallways and walking through. This game to me compares a lot to Final Fantasy 13 in like linearness of like even Final
Yes.
Fantasy 10 where they kind of give you that sense of like, oh, there's some stuff out here, but really you're just gonna go down this one path.
Yeah.
Did you
10
feel like that?
linear. Yeah.
And people, because people killed Final Fantasy 13 for doing that at the time, like 10 years ago, whenever that was. But
Yeah.
I didn't really see too many people this time being like, oh man, like it's just so linear. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
really
yeah.
see that critique, but I was like, man, it's kind of doing the same thing here because it's definitely.
Um, was it? Yeah, the game's linear. Let me go ahead. I don't know why I'm thinking it's linear. Yeah,
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute,
but
what?
no, I was just thinking about your thing with 13 because I haven't played through 13, but I've seen enough of it and played a very tiny fraction of it, and it's like I'm kind of with you. Like they killed 13 for doing the same thing, but it's like 10 super
Mm-hmm.
linear too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's just like fifth going from 15 where that was open the whole time basically, or I mean not even basically the whole rip to this is kind of like that's where game development and people that know more than me, you know what I'm saying, are able to kind of
Yeah,
put that together. Because even with Nomura doing 15 and then doing 7 remake, Kingdom Hearts, which Kingdom Hearts is kind of in the same way too, where there's like a little bit of openness, but you're really just going down some walkways the whole rip.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like it
yeah,
might be a big room, but nah, it's that's where you at, bro. So,
yeah. Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
did you? There was some elements to the padding, well, that I thought were padding. One section later in the game, like chapter 15 or something, I don't know, where you're playing with Tifa and Aerith, and they're like, "Oh man, this is getting scary," and they kind of had to like, walkways are blocked. You gotta go different ways, and you gotta walk on basically the ceiling pipes or however you want, ventilation
Oh
system,
yeah, yeah.
whatever. And there's like the whole scene where you're walking and you're like, oh man, we're gonna fall, and there's like monsters or whatever down there, and it was like
Yeah,
you could have just had me fight the monsters instead of having this campy drama to get me to fall down there. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like they gave you a
exactly.
side option out of it. Like, what kind of do you think stuff like that was like? I mean, at least to me, that was kind of like, all right, man, this is a video game. Like,
Right.
even though I'm enjoying it, I was like, all right, why do you gotta do stuff like this? Did you have any of those moments like within?
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Where you're just like, man, all right, this is taking me out of the experience just a little bit.
The the biggest point of padding for me was when you play as Barrett for that whopping like 15 minutes. If
Yeah.
that, it was like you shoot things, shoot monsters, and then you're back. It's like they could have either expanded that out a little bit longer or just not put it there.
Mm-hmm.
You
Is
know,
it?
like
like though it was definitely at those random parts where like you said Barrett, where it's like, oh, hold it square to shoot down the rocks, and it's just like, okay, I didn't do
Right.
that any other time, why am I doing it now?
Just
Like,
the one time you do it, like, okay.
it was, and and I felt like they were definitely trying to, get you a better sense of like each character, and what they're capable of, you know what I'm saying, and what their value is, I guess, to the whole thing. But it
Yeah.
was just kind of like, all right, I mean, did you really have to make me do this? Like, because I could have just walked through everywhere, and then they strategically place the monsters there in a way where it's like you're fighting them, but it's like there's no way I'm gonna really lose. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And you
Yep.
can. One thing though that you couldn't do in the original, if I'm not mistaken, was this one. Regardless of if people were in your party or not, you could still swap out the materia and stuff,
Yes.
which I thought was like one of those things where I'm surprised people weren't like, oh man, it makes the game too easy. But it's like, man, I
Yeah.
don't. It's annoying. Like if I'm not able to, like all that stuff I had on Tifa and she's gone for 10 minutes, but I need it for this battle that you're making me do. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this one, I really appreciated that they're like, all right, we're not gonna be some jerks and lock it all up,
Yes.
but they do give you a considerable amount of like free materia, though I would say. Even though like, and you can buy like at all like the vending machines or whatever, but I felt like
Mhm.
they kind of paced, they even paced that out well, where they were like, okay, you should need like this amount. You know what I'm saying? Like where they were like, you don't have,
Yeah.
like, I didn't. Only time I think I really bought materia was from the weirdo dude, Chatley or whatever.
That's it. Actually, no, I didn't even get my material from him. I maybe bought one thing from him. Excuse me. I bought it from the shop, the little person shop in Midgard. All that. Got my material from him, and that was pretty much it. After that, my material just like would just level because I don't I forget. So in the original, when you level up like your material to a certain point, you get that you get like another copy. Like let's say level up
Yeah.
fire level 5. Once it's level 5, I get another fire added.
Okay. See, I
Level
don't
1.
know that.
I forgot if this game did that or not because I don't remember buying a bunch of material like that. I bought material once. I bought the essentials. I bought my blizzard. I bought my lightning, my
Mm-hmm.
fire, my cure, and I just divvied them out. So I forgot if this game does that though. So that's something I need to look. I need to look into. But other than that, I wasn't really buying material like that. No, I barely did Chadley's missions, which I regret because there's more summons. I guess you can get.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's? I was gonna ask you with Charlie, because he's the way you get the Shiva summon and the
Mhm.
fat chocobo and
Yep,
Ifrit. They just give you whatever. So you didn't get Shiva and old fat chocobo.
I got Shiva because I was like, I'm gonna do the Shiva one. I got Shiva. I didn't get the fat chocobo. So the summons I had were Shiva, Ifrit. I had this one Cactar and this other one that was part of a because that came with the like deluxe, like those two extra
Okay,
summons.
yeah, because
Looking
I had
into it, I think
the little baby chocobo I had from like pre-order digital
that yeah,
whatever it
exactly
was.
yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot that you do get that Cactuar one with the deluxe or whatever. I didn't have
yeah.
that. Which I was glad that they had enough summons for the amount of time that you're gonna be in the game. Which
Oh
I would assume that you're gonna get the other ones in the next whatever they're gonna call it. But yeah, I like that the way that they set up getting the summons was interesting to me. Going through like the virtual reality glasses mission. I was like, this is pretty
yes.
weird. Like, what is this?
You're I think you can get Bahamut too in this game if you keep going through like the summon list. You can like fight Bahamut and get him as a summon.
Hmm.
I need to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure you can. I know you can
Yeah,
fight him. I
I
see people
haven't
fighting him
seen
in there.
that. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
but keeping on that though, the way that you do summon the summons, like that shit was pretty like epic. Like each time I was like, man, this shit tight. Like, and every like the character
yeah,
had they like Power Ranger move or whatever they
yeah,
would
yep.
do. Like this shit's pretty sick. With dang, what was I about to ask you, man? I can't even remember now. With the one thing I will say about this game that is perfect is the music. And I don't know if
Oh,
you'd say that, But man, the music in this game is amazing.
So good. It is so like even the background music of when you're just like in town
Mm-hmm.
is fire. Like I would just stand around the town and just like enjoy the music.
The one song that I really enjoyed a lot was when you're going through the broken expressway or whatever, and you fight like those thugs and shit. Like that,
Oh, the
it's kind of
graveyard.
like
Yeah.
it's like a groovy ass, like kind of like
Yeah.
techno hip hop type. I was like, man, this shit's so fire.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that one's called, but that was like my favorite one. And they remixed the battle theme like a few times, like several times throughout
Yep.
the
They
game. And I'm
did.
like, how do you do that? Like, you know what I'm saying? And every time was like, man, this is fire, really. Because I think there's like and you get the records in the game that you play
You
like
do.
in the jukeboxes or whatever. And I think there might be like 30, and I know I got like most of them. I didn't go back to like find them all, but I was like,
Right.
man, like that was one of the things where I'm like, man, I definitely want to go back in the game and get all those records because I like how they did that. But the music, man, is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, the music was amazing. I like the remixes that they did. What was another song I really liked? I liked the song that they did back during the whole dance sequence. I
mm-hmm.
love the music, that little like techno, like vibey type of music they had
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on. So
DDR shit going on.
yeah, exactly, exactly. DDR shit was all going on in that. So definitely, it was like the music was 10 out of 10 for me. That was flawless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that. Yeah, I was thinking every time I would play, I'm like, man, like you said, just kind of sit there, like chill out on the music and stuff.
Yeah,
That was good. To put it simply, the really, I guess we can get into like the ending. I don't think I have any other shit that we need to talk about. Because you think of going in the story, man, Sephiroth being a big deal in this one, which he's a big deal in the game, but
yeah,
they amplify him in this one to really
yeah,
kind of make you realize that there's more coming and it's getting serious. The
yeah,
ending to this game, leading up to the ending, like you said, it just goes berserk. Like
yeah.
it was kind of all right. We're here. We're here. Oh
Yep.
shit!
Oh yeah, goes batshit crazy.
Oh man, did they go through the like you go through like kind of how to, it was definitely anime. I would say that this
Oh
game is
yeah.
like truly anime because you got go through the most of the game. It's just kind of like, all right, this is cool, man. Like we're walking through towns and shit. You know, oh shit, that was fucking up, and it's like, wait a minute, it's like other dimensions and shit. Like, like what is going on here?
Yeah.
Between and like between Cloud having like his weird like mystery visions and memories, and
Mm-hmm.
then you figure, you know, you can get in those connections to Cloud and Sephiroth, and then you go to the end of the game with everybody kind of seeing like weird future scenarios or
Yeah.
you know what the world might look like if shit don't go right. um what did you think about how they kind of went into that, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you might have a
Yeah.
better way of looking into that, seeing as you went through seven recently, original seven recently, you know what I'm saying, and
I
you're a
did.
big Kingdom Hearts fan. That was definitely like
Yeah.
a Kingdom Hearts like
100%.
dreams over 1,002 whatever.
Yeah, 500 days times six. Like it was. It was. I lost my shit. Like when I was doing like on stream, I was just like, what? Like they're doing like because it was a lot of they did references to the OG FF7 that when Cloud was getting those like memories
Mm-hmm.
in his head, and then they did one reference to Advent Children where you see Cloud and Sephiroth like getting ready to clash. That was from Advent Children. I remember seeing that in there, and you, it was a treat to see. Someone who played the OG, it was like, oh fuck, like that's that scene or that's that
Mm-hmm.
scene. But I think again, I think that you, I think having not played FF7 or know nothing about it, you could still get kind of like the whole like what the fuck's going on type
Yeah.
of enjoyment from it because I got the what the fuck's going on. I just think to get that maximum enjoyment from those particular parts, you would have to have played the original, but it's nothing that would ruin the experience for like a new coming player coming in into the game. As far as Sephiroth goes, I know you mentioned Sephiroth.
Yeah.
I've been on record saying that I think it was an amazing decision to put Sephiroth in this game, and him having a presence despite him not appearing this early in the original, and having him a boss fight despite not fighting Sephiroth really until
Yeah.
the end of the game. He's just a icon in Final Fantasy, icon as in video game villains. It's like I said, like you had to put Sephiroth in, like you had to put him in the game, like you
Mm-hmm.
had to fight him.
Because and that was probably the one of the bigger issue. One of the two going into one together kind of was the way they did the ending to
Yeah,
the 7 remake, and then knowing how you get out of Midgar originally to how they do it in this one. Like you said, they had to have Sephiroth in there because you couldn't set up going into the next game without some really major event happening. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
it wouldn't make sense for you to just like everything to blow up and then you just kind of leave. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
right.
like it would just kind of like, okay, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
especially the way they set this up, where you go into the Shinra headquarters and it's like chapter whatever the hell it was is like really long. You're messing with Dr. Creepo and
oh
he's
yeah.
making you do all these boss battles and weird trials and shit. And then you go into the end, and like if they were to end it off with you just leaving it, like yeah, it would just be like a sour.
Even like what? And then not fighting Sephiroth too is like people have waited years for this game. People love Sephiroth. It's like if you would, and it's like who knows we're gonna get the second game. So it's like, man, why don't y'all have fun? How about we give y'all like a Sephiroth boss fight to wrap? You know what I mean? Just to
Mm-hmm.
hold you guys over and wrap everything up. Because like you said, if they were to just walk out of Midgar like it was, you would have been like, you know what I mean? There wouldn't have been as much discussion going on, like about the ending and stuff like that for the game or even the game in general if they did the ending like that.
Yeah. What What did you think about between Sephiroth being a more prominent, figure in this, added on to the new figures of like the Whispers and shit? Like, what did you think
Yeah.
about that combination? I guess mainly the Whispers and how those were like a weird, fate is this, and
Yeah.
we're kind of controlling. You know what I'm saying? Why is this little city, having to deal with all
Yep.
this shit? But like, what did you think about the Whispers in this? Because I thought they were fine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think they were like the best thing ever. You know what I'm saying?
I see with the Whispers, it's in Sephiroth, it's I don't know, I get more questions than answers
Mm-hmm.
because my first question was like how can he control like how is he controlling the Whispers? How is he utilizing him the way that he is utilizing them? Yeah, then he talks about he wants to defy fate and stuff like that. So I think the combination is interesting. I like the combination. I'm curious to see how that is going to work going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very curious to see how it does. I want to see if it relates to Genova. Because obviously Sephiroth has Genova cells and can
Yeah.
manipulate Genova cells. Do the Whispers have some type of connection with Genova? Is that why Sephiroth can do that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more questions than answers for me.
Yeah, they made it seem like, at least in the end, going into the end, they were kind of like the Whispers are indifferent to either party.
Yeah,
But it seemed like you said that Sephiroth had like a bigger connection to that side in a way where it's just like, okay,
exactly.
so what does that really mean? Um, speaking of like the Whispers, you going into the end of the game and you have like the mini boss fight against like the thug red, blue, and yellow Whispers or whatever the hell colors they
Oh yeah,
was.
yeah.
Hit that and the like giant ass one. I can't remember what it was called. What did you think about that? Because to me, that was like the boss battle I didn't like at all. Out of all of them in the game.
Um, that was actually. I'm trying to think of all the boss fights. That one might actually be like my second one. No, let me scratch that. It was my favorite when they fused together and formed the Whisper Bahamut. That one was cool. That fight was dope. fighting them separate like that, I wasn't. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't. I was kind of indifferent. I was more engrossed in all like the crazy shit going on.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I was like, oh yeah, this fight's cool. But as a boss fight, I'm probably like indifferent towards it.
Because
Indifferent towards it, yeah.
it just seemed like one of those boss battles in games where it's just like we just need a wall in front of you, so here's a challenge, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the
Yeah,
hardest
yeah.
of things, but it was just an annoying fight to me. In the strategy, I feel like that was in the part of the game where I actually looked at like a guide, because I was like, man, I was kind of at the point I was like, all right, I want to get through the end of this. Like, I don't really
Yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah. Let
guess
me finish this.
how to get through it. And maybe that was another reason why I didn't enjoy it as much. I don't know, but I was just kind of like, this is one of those video game things that I could do without, maybe. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And going into Sephiroth though, I thought that was a really cool fight because you set it up. Cloud is like, "Fuck you, man." And Sephiroth's like, "Fuck you,
Yeah,
man."
yeah.
And then so they're like duking it out, and you get them to like however much health. Then one thing I did notice, because I had Tifa come in and Aerith come in. And looking at one of your videos, it looked like you had Barrett instead of one of them as one, like your
Really?
yeah.
Wow. I
Because
maybe okay.
because when you fight Bahamut or whatever, one of the at least I had Barrett was like Barrett in Red 13 was like, yeah, we'll be over here to shoot them after you do so much damage or
That's
whatever.
what I had too. Yeah.
Okay, so you had Barrett do that,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
but
I had Baron and Red shooting Bahamut. They would shoot Bahamut after me, Tifa, and Aerith would do whatever amount of damage.
okay, huh? Okay, so but when you fought Sephiroth, you had Barrett though, or which way am I
Mm-mm.
thinking?
I had Tifa. I had Tifa and Aerith.
You okay? So maybe I'm confusing it,
But is it possible to have Barrett? Because that's something I want to learn about the game. Is it possible to have Barrett, or is it scripted? Like, is it scripted party members?
I don't know. That's what I'm like trying to ask you. Is I felt like when I watched you play, you had Barrett in one of those fights, and I was like, man, what? Like, that isn't what I'm saying? That's not what I had. So maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had Aerith and Tifa the whole way. So man, I don't know. But
I know in the beginning of that world when you had to like do all like the crazy like sliding down the thing and then jumping and all
mm-hmm.
that shit. I had I think I had Tifa and Barrett. I have the videos on my computer, so I'll have to I'll have to just do some research and look into this now because maybe there's like a point system that this game does as well as the original does. There might be a point system in the game, like a hidden point system where it's like if you do this much stuff with Tifa or this much stuff with Barrett, you know what I mean? You'll have them X member in your
Okay.
party at the end. So that's very interesting to bring up. I mean, if anybody in the comments knows, please let us know.
Yeah, man. That would be interesting to see because I hadn't seen anything about that. With going to the Sephiroth battle though, I thought that shit was tight. You know what I'm saying? With you
Yeah.
fighting them and then, I think Tifa came in first and then Aerith came in last.
Yeah.
I had to do the fight like 3 times, I think, because I was like, this is when I wish I'd have did the magnifying Q or something because
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
having one person like especially like Aerith would go down I'm like fuck she's my healer, then I gotta try to
Yep.
get her up, and then Sephiroth starts getting wings and AOE attacks and crazy
Yep.
anime shit. But it was a good fight, man. I didn't feel like it was too difficult, but it was difficult enough. I mean, even with me having 3 times, that was just me like not knowing what the fuck I was doing.
Exactly.
But,
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, I thought it was a good way to have him come into the end of that game, showing that he is strong, but obviously he ain't coming with all his his strength. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely going back to like a video game anime type of tropiness type of situation. Like I'm not at my final form yet. Like so fuck with me later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man, I like this shit a lot.
It's one of my. It probably is my favorite boss fight. Throughout the whole game, fighting Sephiroth, you have the Sephiroth music. You have him doing all the crazy shit Sephiroth moves. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and it's kind of like I wasn't expecting to fight him either because it was like beat the Whisper thing, and I was like, all right, cool. Like we're about to approach the end game. I saw Sephiroth and I was like, okay, like he might just appear and then leave. But then like the music queued up and I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
this is real. This is hype. And I love like how they broke up the fight and put like cinematic moments in there. Or Sephiroth would like kick Cloud to like a
Mm-hmm.
platform, they land on like another one. It was
Yeah.
yeah. I agree with you. It was a good fight. Probably my favorite fight in the whole game.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that too much. Like you said, those little cinematic moments,
Yeah.
transitioning and everything. Yeah, that was pretty dope, man. With the ending, well, before we even get to the very end, because I forgot to mention with boss fights, I really liked Rude, and I can't think of the dude's name. Rude and the redhead
Reno. Yeah.
Reno,
Reno and Rude.
Double
Yeah,
R.
yeah.
Those dudes was nuts, man. Like,
They
I
were that was a fun fight too. That was hard. I almost died on that fight.
yeah, I think I had to do that one like twice. Cause they did, and they get like that random like pyramid prison
Yep.
move, and I'm like, what the
Yep.
hell is this? And there's a helicopter and shit.
Yep.
Cause even the fights that you have with them prior, cause Reno has like the electric plasma balls and shit, which was like, what the hell is this? And then Rude is just like boxing you and tossing you around like a fucking
Yeah.
WWE wrestler and shit. I was like, man, this is pretty tight.
Yeah, yeah, the Rude fight was dope. Because he hit you with like the Goku Dragon throw. He just like spin you and throw
Mm-hmm.
you over. Reno was cool too because he had all like the little electrical orbs that was coming around, and then them together was like that was hard. That was hard because they were doing all types of crazy combo moves and shit.
Yeah.
And like you said, the helicopter there, those were another one of my favorite boss fights too. Really good boss fights.
Yeah, I don't really think I can't think of too many boss fights in this game besides the Bahamut one where I was like whatever, and the
Yeah.
way in the beginning when you fight the big ass bomber thing or whatever shoots all the rays. You're like on the bridge.
Oh, we're on the bridge. Yeah,
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 I can't
yeah,
remember the
yeah,
name. I hated that fight, but besides that, like all the other ones, I thought was pretty tight, man. Like
yeah.
I didn't really have it, because they made every boss like unique in a way that
They did.
was unexpected. There's even the iconic demon house or whatever was just like okay, like, this is nuts. Like I was expecting it to be a tough battle
That was
when you
hard.
fight
Yeah,
it, but it was like okay, so this shit got arms and weird, like just
yeah.
crazy shit, man. But yeah, they put a lot of good thought into the way the enemies are implemented into this game, especially with it being
Mhm.
so because they structured it like saying it was a linear path to it, but they structured it in a way where when you got into a fight, like it meant something. Uh,
Yes. Yeah. It did.
the going to the ending though, man. So after you fight Sephiroth, whole bunch of berserk shit happens, man. It's been a
Yeah.
while, and I damn near can't even remember it all. Like you see freaking Zack from Crisis Core and shit.
Oh
Like, tell me what you thought about that, man. Like, cause
man.
you were kind of on like is Zack in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you think
Yeah.
about all
Yeah.
that?
Um. So the ending. To give a little brief summary. A little bit before the ending, you see Zack. It plays through the ending of Crisis Core pretty much. You see Zack. He's with Cloud. You see him with all the Shinra soldiers, right? Cloud's,
Mm-hmm.
Mako poison, knocked out, whatever. You know what I mean? Just looking like a whole weenie. And so we're like, okay, it's gonna go through like Crash Core. Zack's gonna fight the Shinra soldiers until he ends up dying. So you whatever, cool. Then you beat the game, and then the ending happens. Zack, like he's like holding like the Buster Sword or something like that. He's like looking down, and you're like, okay, this is where he's like about to like die. And he looks up,
Mm-hmm.
he goes, wait, that's all of them. And you're like, what? What? And then it pans and shows that all he killed them, like they're done. He finished them all. And he picks up Cloud, and then Midgar was surrounded by like whispers, and it like went to like this
Yeah,
bright light, and then he ends up, and then you see them like walking
crossing
away, but you
paths.
see like you see like Aerith and Zack like cross paths, not like literally in like some weird dimension, like
Mm-hmm.
cross paths shit like in the scene. And it was like, and then you see all these other changes happen. You see Biggs wake up. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Wedge and Jesse are back too. You see all these crazy different changes going on, and that's why you'll see a lot of people talking about a different timeline and all this, which I think they pretty much confirmed in the Ultimania,
Okay. That's something
which I was
I
making a video
saw that,
on.
but I didn't really see what that was at Ultimania. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. The Ultimania is like this. It's like this big book. It happens with Kingdom Hearts a lot, and it has developer interviews where they give super in-depth stuff about like the development process, but also interesting tidbits of information about the story, and like can just further like confirm some things you weren't sure about in the story and things like that. So they pretty much confirmed that there's another timeline in this Ultimania.
hmm.
And I kind of been going through the translations for that. Shout out to Audrey on Twitter. She's been translating it. Quick shout out to her. I've been going through her Twitter, kind of like reading through the translations and getting the information from there. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, man. Because when that ending happened, because like everybody started having like had they visions and shit, and like you see
yeah,
Zach come in, and I was just like, because I was just like, wait, what am I looking at here? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this
yeah,
like this, like you said, is this the same thing going on right now, or is this two separate things? Is this
yep,
dimensional? Is this time travel? Like, what is really happening right
yeah,
now? Because, I mean, it was just, I mean, this is definitely probably like the biggest controversy that people had online. It was just like, okay, so they changed it, but was it worth it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's worth it because I want something different and I want to see some crazy shit happen. But it definitely was just like, okay, so I'm gonna have to wait a couple years to get an answer for things that probably don't even have an answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what sucks. That's what sucks. It's like now I have to wait X amount of years to really see, like you said, to either get some answers, you know what I mean, or to even just experience these characters again in the new story. That's like the biggest thing that sucks for me
Mm-hmm.
with this being like separate games. That's the part that like is the biggest struggle.
Do you think, as I feel like I'm about to sneeze, we had talked about it in the preview how you were like, how are they going to adjust to like the more open world aspects of like the later parts of Final Fantasy
Yeah.
VII? Like, do you see? I mean, there's really no way to tell, but do you feel like the way the game is set up right now, they're gonna be able to transition into what you're kind of thinking for the next disc or part two, whatever
Um
you want to call it?
it's kind of hard to say because it's like I want my weapons and my levels and stuff to transfer over, but if they're gonna go to an open world sense in the next game, they have to make a new game.
Yeah.
Like they can't continue to make this linear. Like if they are gonna go open world, they're gonna have to start from damn near the ground up, really,
Mm-hmm.
to start like the whole open world progress. Now, is that where it's headed? I really don't. I really don't know. After playing this one, it's like I don't know. They could go a couple different ways with the next game,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Cause I don't know if I mean, if they work it out, if they made it linear again, I don't know how upset I would be. But it's kind of
Yeah,
like I felt like they're showing it's like you're going on this journey's bigger than what you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
yeah,
played the original or not, like you can see that it's like okay, all this shit's opening up now. Whether it's dimensions and shit or you're gonna be staying in the what is that world called that they live in? You know what I'm saying? Like you leave
Gaia,
dry. What is it?
Gaia.
Gaia. Okay.
I think that's the name of the planet.
Okay. Because I'm just like, all right, man. Like how, like yeah, how are they gonna be able to? Because I feel like the battle system is gonna be able to translate fine,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's like okay, I don't know. I don't want it to be like an Assassin's Creed, but I don't know if I want it to be like a Witcher game either. You know what I'm saying? Like I
yeah,
don't know what
exactly.
level of like openness I want it to have. You know what I'm saying? Like what are they gonna be able to do?
I think a good place to put it, what I would think would be pretty cool is if they did like a God of War open, how God of War is semi-open world.
Mm-hmm.
That would be that could work for them, I think,
Yeah, I didn't think
if
about
they did
that.
it that way.
Hmm.
Um, I don't. I'm with you. I don't want Witcher 3 level of openness. Nor do I want it like another linear game again. give me semi-open like God of War, and I would personally be happy depending on how it's done.
Yeah, that's a good take right there. I didn't think about that. That's a good mid level. Um, I think that's really we done reviewing it. Shit, I don't think I got any more points to make. Did you have any other points about this game that you needed, man? Because I'm thinking like I don't.
Uh, no,
It's a good game.
good game. Yeah, like we pretty much covered everything. The game was good. I liked it. I mean, I don't really got much else.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff we didn't necessarily touch on, like Red 13. I mean, he's there. He's an integral part in
Right.
the end, but he's gonna be a lot more important going forward.
Yeah.
There's not much to say about what he did besides kind of
No.
showing
No.
that there's more to the world and different
Yep.
beasts and characters and whatnot.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they implement more characters because that goes into how are they gonna adjust because in this one you never have unless I'm just dumb, there's never a situation where you have to choose who you fight with because they always set it up for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
in the next one when they add in however many characters they're gonna put, I wonder how they're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna go into the you choosing or are
Right.
they gonna do it like here you go with these people and then work your
Right.
materia that way? So I'll be curious how they do that. Do you think we don't know when 7 Remake's coming out or part 2 whatever? Then coronavirus is fucking everything up.
Everything.
Do you
Yeah.
think do you think that with 7 doing so well and with everything kind of landscape of games is just kind of weird right now that Final Fantasy 16 is coming anytime soon or is that that's so far off, you know what I'm saying?
I'll be honest. 16 is not coming anytime soon with the success that 7 just saw.
I'm on that same thought process. I don't see how
Yeah.
I don't see how you can do both. Like it would be
No.
one thing if 7 Remake was like a smaller project. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
they've shown that this is bigger than just,
Yep.
here's the game again. Like this is, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Yep.
in a way this is almost 16 when you think about it. Like especially
Yeah.
with them changing the story and stuff. So yeah, I don't see them doing 16 in a while. And even that, Final Fantasy 14 is doing so well on the
Oh yeah.
MMO side, so it's kind of like they got a lot going on in that
Yep.
part of Square Enix. So yeah, I don't see that, man. Yeah, I think that's it, bro. I appreciate your time, man.
No problem, man. Anytime.
That was Final Fantasy VII Remake review. JayEsper, my bro from across the I was gonna say globe, but across the states.
Across the states.
Yeah, man. Where can they find you once again if they like you? I guess.
Twitch.tv/JayEsperTV. You can find me on YouTube.com/JayEsper. I'm definitely more vulgar and wild on my Twitch, so be ready for that. But the YouTube, we're going over the Ultimania stuff. We cover Final Fantasy VII Remake content. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments for this video. How did you guys like this game? And me, I'm gonna be down there with Willie in the comments. So I'm gonna be down there with him. We're gonna be talking about it. So that's
yeah,
it.
man. This is 4 Eyes Malone. Catch me, you know what I'm saying? It's Black Nerd Planet, YouTube, Spotify, Twitch, all that good stuff, man. Podcasts come out every Monday, typically. And then other videos and stuff come out whenever. There's not a set schedule on that. But Mondays is the pod, man, for the most part. Gonna be doing Xbox and stuff is heating up. PlayStation 5's heating up and all that. So check me out, man. Check me. My boy Marlon be coming back with some more stuff. He said check Esper out. He be streaming, talking trash like he said. Oh yeah, man. I appreciate everybody listening. Peace.